Welcome back to D&J React, where music sparks conversation.
Every day.
In today's conversation, it's no more Mama Music Awards in 2024, the tragic downfall of K-pop's biggest music show.
Going down the drain, huh?
What happens to make a music venue like that fail at being as big as it is?
I have no idea, but I guess we're about to find out.
It
must have been something bad.
All right, well, let's not waste any time. Let's jump right in.
Let's figure it out.
Mama used to be the biggest K-pop award show ever, but due to its numerous controversies, the popularity of the show's gone down rapidly. So is it possible that 2023 will be the last year for Mama? Mama was first established in 1999, and it quickly gained a huge momentum. In the beginning, it was focused on artists from all Asian countries, like Japan and China, hence the name Mnet Asian Music Awards. Viewers from all around the world used to tune in to watch the award ceremony, and it was guaranteed that idol performances during Mama were going to be more than amazing, but somewhere down the line something went wrong and Mama became a huge disappointment. Firstly, the show started to drift away from other Asian countries until it became focused only on K-pop. The artistic diversity it had in the beginning was what once made it so popular and entertaining. 2023 seems to be the worst year for the award show, as it's been facing criticism from all corners of the internet. As soon as the first idols to be nominated at Mama were released, netizens were already unhappy, not only with the lineup, but with the way the attendees were revealed as well. Mama chose a very unconventional approach to reveal the lineup by posting daily puzzles, challenging fans to decode the names of the performances and figure out all the cryptic clues. While some fans definitely enjoyed the little challenges, many felt...
I wonder why people wouldn't like that. That's actually, at least my opinion, I think that's kind of cool. Like, leading up to it, you got these little puzzles, clues, and it kind of keeps you engaged and coming back, trying to figure out, like, who's going to be on stage.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool, but I wonder why the rest of the people didn't like that.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
It was a really weird way to announce something as important as the lineup of the biggest Asian award show. By turning the announcement into a game, the organizers made some people feel frustrated. Korean netizens argued that instead of the excitement and anticipation, it only fueled confusion. They added that the announcement should be straightforward and should happen on the same day instead of taking up several days. Many Korean netizens also didn't like how all the announcements were done in English. For an event rooted in Korean culture and catered to Korean artists, the choice to announce it in English didn't sit well with many. One netizen wrote, ever since they started hosting the
that's like an MTV Music Awards over here, just catering to Korea now in America. Like that doesn't
Korean language that none of us would understand.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. That doesn't make sense. Maybe they were trying to bring on the American market.
Yeah. No, that makes no sense at all. Yeah, it's like America turning everything into Korean language.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that?
I don't know.
It was built in America. Keep it American.
You would
know what I mean? Like, that was built in Asia. Just keep it that way.
Show overseas, I stopped looking forward to it. 2023 is the year of rookie groups, and while netizens were happy to see many new groups as a part of the lineup, there were a lot of other amazing soloists and groups who deserved to be a part of the show as well. Many BTS fans were extremely disappointed to see Jin and RM be completely left out of the nominations this year, despite both releasing solo albums that gained millions of streams and views. The way Mama divided idols into different categories didn't sit well with netizens either. Most of them ended up in the Worldwide Fans' Choice category, and many fans believed they deserved way more because of their impact on K-pop. This category included huge names like aespa, ENHYPEN, BTOB, and ATEEZ. Particularly ATEEZ were considered as the group who was robbed of many Mama nominations this year. They are considered to be one of the best performers of the fourth gen of K-pop, and their time on stage is simply an unforgettable experience, so you can imagine the disappointment of their fans when they found out ATEEZ was not nominated in any category related to music or performing. One fan tweeted, Mnet using ATEEZ for KCON but not nominating them is absurd and hypocritical. I need ATEEZ to stop going there because there is no way they aren't nominated for not only Best Male Group, but also, once again, for Best Dance Performance Male Group at Mama. Same thing happened with ENHYPEN as well, who are often credited as the leaders of K-pop's fourth generation. Much like ATEEZ, they were also robbed of any nomination in any category related to music or dance, despite releasing some of the most popular songs of this year.
I wonder if it's like more about the pay on the back end, like the person who owns the award show getting paid by the big corporations and labels to push the certain artists.
Probably. That's usually how things work behind the scenes. No matter how good you are as an artist, is your company pumping out enough money to these other groups to keep your name at the top?
Yeah. It's interesting. I'm sure it is. That's how a lot of shit works.
At least over here, I know it works a lot like that behind the scenes.
Because of the unfair nominations, many fans were reminded of the controversy from 2022 when Mama was accused of manipulating the fan votes. Back in 2022, the situation was very similar to what happened in 2023, which prompted the fans to accuse Mama of not playing fair and for possibly manipulating the votes. This year wasn't at all different because they truly believed that some idols were snubbed in various categories. On top of that, they found it very weird that all fourth-generation groups from JYP Entertainment were completely absent. Mama used to attract thousands of viewers every single year from both domestic and international fans, but this year was different. Because the show appears to have lost the spark that made it once so entertaining, many fans completely forgot about the show and didn't realize it was happening on that particular day.
Oh, wow.
When a big K-pop account on Twitter tweeted the starting time of the award show, their comments were filled with people making fun of how no one realized the award show was starting that day. To a lot of people, the show simply seemed boring and not as thrilling as it used to be in the past. Mama has changed the format of the show many times before, which doesn't allow for many interactions between idols as it did in the years when fourth generation of K-pop wasn't in place. Throw in the daily fan wars between fandoms and you have a certified sleep show. One fan on Twitter pointed out that Mama went downhill after idols from the third generation stopped attending. Idols now don't really interact with each other, and if they do, it's only for a short while. Idols would also collaborate with each other on stage to deliver an outstanding performance, but these days when a collab stage happens, there's no connection between the idols and they seem to be bored. This year, fans were over the moon to see some of the most popular female idols on stage together. They were thrilled to see idols Minnie, LE SSERAFIM's Yoonjin, and others perform on stage together. Unfortunately, Mama did exactly what they've been doing in recent years, where they would announce a collaboration between artists, but the artist would end up dancing solo on the stage. Even before the performance took place, fans were a little iffy about the lineup. Many wondered why groups like IVE or New Jeans were not included.
It sounds like Mama's just like very inconsistent in the way they do things. There's no like real structure, and like it's like what they're doing seems like very sketchy and like in the dark.
Well, that, and it seems like from year to year things change so much. And I think people, when they start watching award shows and things like this, they get fixed on a certain like format.
Yeah.
And they get comfortable with that and they know what to expect. It's kind of what they said in the beginning. Things were changing. There was all this like different stuff they were doing. It wasn't the typical format and people didn't like it.
Yeah.
So I think when you keep doing that, you keep throwing people off. And like they said, people didn't even know it was on. It was like that day they were announcing it and people were like, yeah, we didn't even know it was coming. Like
Yeah,
nobody was paying attention.
From 1999, 2009, 20-something years you've had to figure it out.
And
you
still got it
can't
wrong.
figure it out.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Since they were so successful this year. Overall, this year's Mama was simply a huge mess. On top of all the unfair nominations and disappointing collaborations, the show was also accused of mistreating the attending girl groups. On an online forum, fans discussed the obvious differences in how the award show treated girl groups and boy groups. One fan wrote, "The difference between girl groups and boy groups being treated by Mama is awful. I wouldn't be surprised if soon no girl groups attend unless they're rookies, because honestly, it's embarrassing and insulting." The number of performances between girl groups and boy groups was also different, including soloists and the Street Woman Fighter contestants. Both nights saw a total of 9 stages with female performers. Performances that included boy groups or male soloists came up to 16 over the 2 nights. Female idols seriously got the bare minimum this year, as their performance time was also different from their male colleagues. Only Somi performed more than just 1 song during her set, while male idols performed at least 2. The actual performance time also varied between male and female.
So I wonder if you can equate this to like athletics, like at least here in America. I don't know over there if it's the same at all, but at least
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. So like I know there's a big controversy here between the men and women's athletic pay that goes out.
Yeah, it's huge.
And it's all based on
Numbers.
Yeah,
Yes, people
viewing and sponsors paying for ads and stuff. So who's producing the most?
Well, it's like if you have the guy professional team having, like, let's just keep it small numbers, 10 attendees that bought tickets, you have 10 people online watching the show for the guy groups, and then for the women groups you have 1 to 2 people buying the tickets and 1 to 2 people watching the show. The guys are bringing in 5x the amount of views, revenue, product sales, like you name it. They're bringing in more.
And it's not to say the men are better as performers.
That's just the way it works out.
But it's just what the public is watching and doing. That's where they're getting their views, is from the male side of it rather than the female side. So it's based on numbers. So I'm wondering if this is the same. Like with the award shows, they're looking at, okay, if we put these men up, are we going to get more views, clicks? Are we going to get more sponsors through the men or through the women?
Yeah.
And from what I can tell from this, I'm assuming it's probably the men produced more, so they got more time on stage.
I mean, all these are companies, they're businesses. They have
Correct.
to run like a business. They can't just run off of like, I like the way he looks or I like the way she looks. It's like,
No,
these are
producing.
businesses, dude. Like, this is all about money.
Money,
This
period.
isn't about anything else. Money, status, and fame are the three biggest things. And if one group brings in $1 trillion versus this group who brings in $1 million, it's like, we're going to pick the one that makes $1 trillion every
Correct.
time, whether it's a guy or a girl. It's
Yeah.
whoever brings in more money, more views is who's going to get put up.
Correct.
That's it.
Groups. On the second day, girl groups performed for roughly 5 minutes each, while more than one boy group performed for more than 7 minutes. Netizens used these accidents to express how disappointed they are. One user wrote, "I don't get how Mnet expects top groups to attend again if they're going to mistreat girl groups when they're the same ones having the biggest hits in the year." Another one's comment said, "No shade to any boy groups, but how in hell does
See,
Le Seraphim know?"
What she just said previous, those girl groups had the biggest hits of the year. See, now that goes against what we're saying.
Correct.
That
So
doesn't
now-
make any sense.
Right. So if the girl groups numbers outperform the men group and they still got kind of kicked to the curb, then there's something behind the scenes going on.
That's
There's
favoritism.
something correct. There's something completely wrong there. But if it's like we said, you look at the numbers, the raw numbers, the men's numbers are higher than the women's numbers. They're going to get more time on
And
stage.
maybe even still, if you get a lot of views, that doesn't necessarily equate to revenue sometimes.
not at all.
Because copyright things can be put in place to where you can't make money off of the
Right.
views. There's a lot of different factors, but if that is true and they did have the biggest hits, that should technically equate to more money because more people are watching
You
their
would think
stuff,
so.
buying products, ad
Albums.
revenue, albums, yeah, like all that stuff. So it almost seems like there's a little favoritism going on here, and it's not very fair. It's very one-sided.
Known as good performers and popular in Korea barely get not even 5 minutes of performance with one song. Meanwhile, some boy groups that are smaller than them, both domestically and internationally, are getting more. Another one pointed out how the performances this
Makes
year
no
were
sense.
really good, but that mama needs a complete overhaul because the current structure makes the show seem slow and boring. They explained how there's no need for the event to happen in 2 nights. Instead, they should cut out the excessive talking between hosts and presenters. The main focus of the show should be on awards and performances. The user pointed out how they should seriously fire people who handle the cameras because random fan cams should not be more stable than national TV broadcasts.
Damn.
Terrible camera work is another thing the award show has been called out for, as you can see. In the past, it's been known for captive and iconic performances, but right now, the filmed performances are very hard to watch. This year, netizens believe that Mama simply ruined the performances by not filming them properly. During Enhypen's performance, the viewers only saw set pieces and wide shots instead of seeing the group during key moments in their choreography. The filming completely left out any small or intriguing details in the dance. TXT were also victims of some terrible camera work. Their fans were given huge audience shots during moments when the camera should be on the idol. During an 18-second clip of TXT's performance, the camera angle changed more than 12 times, with a majority of the shots being too wide to see any details of the performance. Videos recorded by the fans in the audience on their phones did a greater job capturing the performances than professionals handling their own cameras. Many fans also noticed how the audience seemed so silent during the performances, which didn't make the atmosphere or the experience of watching it any better. All of these incidents are expected to reflect terribly in Mama's viewership for this year. It's gone down gradually over the past years, and since 2020, the show's viewership has been below 1%. In
Wow.
2022, the viewership was 0.67% on night 1 and 1% on night 2. Because of this, many feel like this year the viewership is going to be below 1% for both nights.
That's
What did you think
terrible.
about this year's Mama? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and thank you for watching.
Definitely some shady shit going on the back end
Yes.
because none of that makes
that
any
makes-
sense.
no.
What we said makes sense for over here, but that would be like, oh, the guys got all the spotlight in the NBA and the women's NBA didn't get any, but the women's NBA produced 10x the amount of revenue, views,
Right.
and purchasing of clothes and items than the guys, but the guys got all the attention. That
doesn't make
That
sense.
seems like a back end issue of somebody who's getting paid a shitload of money to
Yeah.
just shit on all these other artists and only
Yep.
bring out the people they want to bring out.
Correct.
So maybe a certain label is paying them a lot of money to just push their people.
That could be it. Yeah, that's
I
what
mean-
it sounds like, because the theory that we had doesn't hold up to what they're saying in this
No.
industry. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of odd.
Interesting. Yeah, let us know if you guys have any more videos like this down in the comments. With that being said, let us know what you guys think about this, if what we're saying makes any sense, or I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
Yeah, maybe you know some like backdoor shady deals that are going on that we don't know about.
It seems like there's some shady stuff happening.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification for more. Jump over to Patreon. We're giving 7 days away for free, and there's a ton of exclusive content over there for you guys. We're also giving 15% discount up front when you pay for the year. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.